think we're frozen. Tara.
Let's all do it.
Let's give it a second and see if she comes back.
Oh, did it happen again?
It's okay. I just said that they live in the moment and that they sort of force you to live in the moment too, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to live in the moment and go to Apple and buy a new computer, to be honest with you, because I didn't like what happened here, and it's on me.
Uh-oh.
Hey, thank you so much for clicking on this YouTube video, my cast interviews for the film Uncle Frank, which I really thought was just so heartbreaking and tender and hopeful at parts. Little backstory, Zoom life, as Lois Smith calls it. So my computer has been having issues, and I was hoping to make it through a few more Zoom junkets without having to deal with it. So I've got this monitor like taped to my computer, and I knew it was only a matter of time before it locked up or something happened, and sure enough, it did more than once. While I was interviewing the star of the film, Paul Bettany, and the writer-director of the movie, Alan Ball. The two could not have been nicer, but just to set it up, you'll see a few glitches and me apologizing profusely and doing the whole walk of shame at the end of it. Alan, I'll start with you. Obviously, you always try to do research before you do these things, and that's, Paul, honestly, where I learned about your father and your connection, and knowing that really impacted this whole movie for me, to be honest with you. You're a great actor, Paul, regardless. But Alan, when you learned his connection to this through his father, did that affect you, watching him act your words?
Well, I learned about Paul's experience with his father during a phone conversation that we had after we had offered him the script, and he had, and so we spoke. And when he told me that, I just felt like, oh my God, well, of course he's the guy who should play this, because it speaks to him so personally, and it sort of shares. I have a similar father connection with the script, and so I felt like it really made it perfect. I think we're frozen. There we go.
Was that on my end? Because I'll be mad at myself.
You froze.
Oh, shoot. I am so sorry. I don't know how that happened. I apologize, and I missed your entire answer.
I'll do it again.
We got it all recorded. So Tara, if you just want to move on to your...
Okay, so I can't even react to what you just said, but I'm just going to assume it. I am so sorry. You know, Paul, obviously your character struggles with where he feels most himself and where he really can't be himself. For you, where do you feel most you?
Wow. I mean, you know, as I get older, I feel mostly me most of the time, which is really the great thing about getting older. But the real truth is around my family and friends. But I do think that is the gift that comes with this crushing old age.
Well, you're aging well then, because you still look, you could pass for a teenager, or maybe it's a good ring light there. I can't tell.
Oh, I believe you. There was enough of me that believed you.
Okay. I'm not a good actress. So, Alan, where do you feel most you? Where can you be most yourself?
I have to agree with Paul. As I get older, I sort of feel like I'm mostly me most of the time. But also I would say when I'm working, I really, especially on a movie like this, which is such a collaboration between people who I have such respect for and such admiration for, and everybody is on the same page, and it's a real labor of love, and I really feel myself in those moments.
You know, there are so many lessons that I learned through this. I love the fact that Sophia's character is so observant, because I can't stand it when you're at a function with people and no one's noticing any of the subtleties, and she notices everything, and it's heartbreaking. Yes. So many other lessons. She teaches Paul, your character, several things. I'll start with you, Paul. Who has been an unlikely teacher of something pretty fantastic? Where have you learned something pretty life-changing from an unlikely source?
Oh, well, I mean, this is going to sound pat, but it's really not. I don't feel equipped to be a mentor for anybody. And then I was thinking about my poor children. But I think I've learned more from my children than they've learned from me. And you know, it's interesting how that happens. How it has taught me patience, and how it has taught me, you know, what is really worth getting riled up about and anxious about, and what's important to fight for. But also, I think that they've saved me as many times as I've saved them. You know, so I would really say my children.
Well, and it's amazing too what kids remember and what teens remember from their parents, little conversations that you think meant not too much and turned out to be huge. And Alan, I'll quickly end with you. Anything that you gained from kind of an unlikely source?
This is going to sound really silly, but I'm a big dog person. And I love, I feel like my dogs teach me how to live in the moment. They're not worried about the future. They're not obsessing about the past. They're just here now. And that's, to me, that's a great energy to be around. And that's why I surround myself with dogs.
Oh, did it happen again?
It's okay.
Oh.
Well, and you know, we had to put our dog down a year and a half ago, so I can't tell you, we're huge animal lovers. And whatever you said, I'm sure I agree with 100%.
I just said that they live in the moment, and that they sort of force you to live in the moment too, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to live in the moment and go to Apple and buy a new computer, to be honest with you, because I didn't like what happened here, and it's on me.
Uh-oh, no worries.
So, I'm so sorry.
No worries.
Thank you for your time, and congratulations on this.
Thank you so much, Tara.